Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 2 of the world tour of fWhip's world. And I don't think we've seen anything yet. This place is insane. Look at it. If you guys haven't seen the first episode, go back on my channel or fWhip's channel, check it out. And if you guys don't know fWhip, meet fWhip right around here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel, or welcome to the world. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this one again, dude.
The channel. Make sure you go check out fWhip, because you guys are missing out if you're not checking out fWhip.
Hey, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. We ended off the last episode literally right here. We haven't moved at all. We're ready to go check it all out. So I hope you guys are ready because we got a bunch of cool stuff to explore. I think right after we ended the last one, Jansey spotted something off in the distance you want to go check out. So if we want to go wander over there, I'm right behind you.
Oh man, I definitely want to go wander over here. I said to fWhip, I'm like, did we just miss one of the coolest little things I've seen in a very long time? In fact, I think I've seen in general in Minecraft is this bell above this church. It is amazing. I thought this church was pretty cool to begin with, but then when we go step back and you can see that with the little spires coming off the top, that thing is amazing. And I'm just sad I missed it in the first episode. That thing is absolutely crazy. And I mean, not to mention, I'm putting it out. There's this big mountain in front of me, and I'm pointing out this small bell.
This tiny little 2-block wide bell is so cool.
Yeah, how about we speak about the elephant, which I think justifiably is an elephant. It's an elephant doesn't do it justice on the size of this thing.
So this guy right here is my giant custom biome project, and you know it's all your fault that I started this one. I just want to point that out to you because I saw you doing your mountain on a stream one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna one-up him. I'm gonna go bigger, and then I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. But yeah, so this is all a giant custom biome project. We're walking into swampland here, actually. So, you know, swamplands don't really have mountains in them. And so far, the height limit on this guy goes up to 180. So there's going to be a lot to look at. And we're starting down here at like 60-something. So coming up this way, I want to make really winding roads that go up and naturally could like support a cart or something. And the cart wouldn't just go flying down backwards because it's too steep or something like that. So we got our first cart right off to the side here, just some merchants taking a rest as they're working their way down into the village. I just thought it was kind of cool little things to add. This is by no means finished in here. Basically, everywhere you see grass is eventually going to be a big old forest, just kind of as a heads up. So the trees you see around are slowly growing out. This area out to our left side here is where kind of a general idea of what the whole place is going to be looking like in the end. But it's just kind of, it's a lot of work, so it's taking some time.
I mean, you wouldn't say it by looking at it, would you?
Yeah, no, not at all. This just took a day. It's fine. In survival.
And I'm assuming, as per the usual, none of this was real mountain at all?
No. If you break through it, it's all hollow down to darkness and mobs and scary stuff. So my plan is to, after I basically finish this whole biome here, I want to start a little mini series of surviving the dark and basically go under and start with absolutely nothing but one torch and see how long I can survive.
That is awesome. And have you done any mining underneath here? You could actually probably do everything.
I've taken away the dirt, but as far as anything else other than that, I haven't. So I'm planning on leaving a little island in the middle that'll basically be the starting home. But what we can do here is, so this place right here, again, we were talking about last episode about like sight lines and things like that and really kind of hiding things as like a grand reveal from when you go to a skinny area to the big open area. And that's really what I'm trying to accomplish here in the forest. As you walk through, you can see kind of this area where it will reveal out into like the rest of the forest over there. Then coming up down to here, we open up, you can kind of see little things. You can kind of see the tower popping out behind there. Then you can see the lake down below and you'd be like, oh, the lake looks kind of cool. And then you walk through and this giant thing just kind of loads in behind you. I don't know if you're going across the... You can go across the bridge too if you want to. But I don't know about if that thing's even loading in all the way for you up to the top. It's because it's not for me. I'm still too far away with shaders. But yeah,
I think I'm render distance like 12 or something at the moment.
Yeah, that's usually what
17.
I said.
Okay, I'm 17, so I'm actually all right.
So yeah, but that guy, we can go check that guy out in just a sec here and kind of go check out some of the smaller details.
What I was looking at.
Oh yeah, no, just nothing in the background there. But yeah, so we kind of, again, so you see that brief reveal right there. Then you come down in those pathway, hit that dense forest again, And then it opens up into a nice little carrot field right here. And you get another reveal point. And then off to the side, we got a little pig farm here with all these guys chilling in there, which this thing, making it pig proof so they couldn't get out, took me so freaking long to do. So long, without just throwing fences all the way around it and making it look kind of boring. Yeah. It took so many hours to make that work. Every time I'd be like, I think I got it, a pig would slide out. But
well, I mean, with some of the stuff, you still will get them where they're just too close and they load in out of it.
Yeah,
that drove me nuts. It took me forever until someone told me, "Hey, wait, sometimes things can spawn outside as well."
Mm-hmm.
Didn't make sense, man. It's,
yeah.
But this, by the way, this has just recently been built, right?
Yes, this is in the past
10 episodes, correct?
Yeah, probably the last 10. So this is kind of the wall leading up to the Nordic city. I have this thing where I build the walls and then I come back like a month or two later and start building the city. I was planning on building this guy right away, but 1.13 finally came out, so we're gonna wait off on this guy for a little while here until basically I finish exploring a lot of the aquatic update stuff. But this wall here is really, actually, it's kind of inspired by that gate you had leading to your tall forested area. I'm blanking on what it was called. Forgive me.
In my world?
Yeah, your single player world. Yeah, you have that gate.
That was a really bad build. I'm glad you've upped it.
See, I liked what you had for half of it, and then I kind of took that, reworked into my own style, and then just kind of duplicated it over. And I really like the result, especially hidden behind the trees. And yeah, so it's pretty cool.
What is this block up here? Is this brown concrete?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Okay, that is a surprise. I didn't think that actually worked as good as it does.
Yeah, it works pretty well with dark oak. It actually, I really like that one. The combo is pretty nice.
Your block choices are amazing. Seriously, that is no joke. They're incredible.
So now I guess we can talk about the true elephant in the room. The lake, it's pretty great. You see all the detail underneath the lake here? It's really cool. It's really trying to get this guy ready for 1.13. Where no,
I've been waiting to ask you about this lake. In fact, I think I saw when you were busy digging this lake out. I think there was an episode on that a while back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember you were going through texturing and all that. Obviously, 1.13 is going to fix up all these little air pockets.
The problem is I did soul sand before I put in the brown terracotta, so I've been missing a bunch of that and slowly been replacing it. So it's going to look a little awkward when 1.13 comes around, but
if
it's
the bubbles
fine.
aren't too bad.
Exactly.
It adds something, I guess.
Yeah, if anything. But yeah, so now we can actually go check out the mountain range, and a new section that was just added on and actually released in a video earlier this week. So, or when this comes out, it'll just have released. But anyways, so we got this forest area right here, and kind of what I was talking about with creating that dense forest. This is basically what I want the end goal to look like. I live really close to the Cascade Mountains in the Pacific Northwest, and this is basically what it looks like everywhere, and I love that so much I wanted to recreate it in Minecraft. So that is kind of the general idea of what it's going to be, not even close to being finished and stretching across everywhere, so hopefully it'll be there in another year or so. But coming up into the mountains, this is probably my favorite part of this entire world so far. Arguably my favorite one, but we can see all these dark areas through here with the darker stones coming in, just to add a little bit of variation, and that is cyan terracotta and gray concrete powder. And then just to make the other place look a little rougher and mix it up with the lighter stone areas, that's all andesite, stone, and cobblestone, I think. I use cobblestone in there just to kind of blend all the cobblestone slabs and stairs in and everything. And then I really wanted to focus on bringing in like different lines of stone, making it look like erosion channels in just these different areas instead of covering the whole top of snow like I see a lot of people do. I want to make it look like it was really into these narrower areas, and I think it came out really cool, to be honest.
No, it does, and it makes sense as well. That's the even cooler part.
Mm-hmm.
That it looks awesome, it makes sense, and down from the bottom, it also doesn't get rid of all the stone, which is, I mean, you don't want to really lose the mountain behind snow.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like people who over detail with the snow, they really lose a lot of the character that they had kind of building up into it. And this, when you're looking at it with shaders, I almost think it looks better because you get the atmosphere fog at the top because it's so far away and so tall up that it kind of looks like the clouds are starting to surround the peaks a little bit. But the new part is actually...
Got that in mind, sadly.
Yeah, well, without shaders, it works a little bit better. With shaders, you can't quite get it. But this part,
I was going crazy. I'm like, wait,
wait, where? No, but this part over here to the right side, this kind of big snowy bowl area, where there's just a big chunk of snow. This is all actually brand new. I just finished this up before the world download. And I really like this part. I can't wait to come back in and texture this guy up and get a lot of things in here. But I feel like there's this flatter area where all the snow is kind of draining off the mountainsides and forming in this one area. I felt like was a really cool place to do it. And I'm thinking about making it look like there's like an avalanche coming down this little central spit that really doesn't have anything on it. I was thinking about doing that and just dumping a bunch of snow down there at the base and just adding little extra bits of detail to it. But yeah, that's kind of the whole peak right there. Besides, we do have a little cave we can go check out, which is my good old-fashioned snow farm. You can head on back here because, you know,
snow golem cave right
here.
Oh,
heck yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a little pain to get into, just as a heads up. There's slabs. They're kind of annoying to walk through. But we can go in here. This is how terrible I am at redstone, just as a heads up. So you press the button, it opens, and then it's there, and it's instantly closed.
I can do this. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we got our snow golems back here, and this is basically all of the production to make the snow happen on the mountain. One thing I found out they're adding that I didn't really see in any patch notes until 1.13 actually released is that if you silk touch those nice little snow layers right there, it gives you snow layers.
I actually just saw that today. That is amazing. And it's great. I mean, it's not like I've just built a snowy village or anything.
I know, right? Yeah, no, me neither. I haven't used, I haven't picked up over 100,000 snow balls. But
is it over 100,000, man? That's actually a stat I'm not even aware of what I've got there. That would be nuts.
It's a lot. So, you know, that's a great change that I'm looking forward to. Arguably my favorite change in 1.13. I'll just throw that out there now.
Oh, I don't know. You're gonna have to compete with spruce trapdoors. I think that's a tough one. You're gonna have to change my mind on that one big time.
The snow layers change as far as gameplay changes. Spruce trapdoors will give you that, and I think the other next best block is the dark oak stripped log. I think that's going to be a good one.
Oh man, yeah. I'm worried. There's so many good blocks. I'm going to get lost. That's
I'm gonna be like, I don't know how to build anymore. My old pallets aren't here. What do I do? But yeah, so we can go ahead and jump down here. There you are, right behind me. We can go ahead and follow this little pathway out here. Check out the last part of the old mountain biome up here before we jump off over to the castle, which I think a lot of people say that's their favorite part. I'm over here, right behind. Nope.
I've lost you.
Through the trees. You're
just not rendering in. I've lost you.
I'm coming over right in front of you, right there in front of you.
Okay, I got you, and I teleported to you anyway. So
okay,
cool. we found each other.
Oh, back together at last.
Oh man, I've missed you.
Oh, it's been too long. We can go ahead over here and check out this village. This guy's actually something that's recently been finished again. Here's a little like farmer's path down to the village. So it's not quite big enough for carts to go through, and it goes through a little cave network down here actually to get kind of down into the farming village area here, which is really cool. Nice little secret pathway almost. I love using different. Yeah, I didn't want to have everything through one pathway to get up here, so I tried to adding all these little secret ones in all over the place. There's different ways you can kind of get up and down from the mountains wherever you want. You can almost always find a pathway if you look hard enough, and I really like the idea of doing that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, I mean, just the little details in this. I mean, you've got the big macro stuff, but then it breaks down. That is, I think, so often people forget that you got one, and then you got the other. You've got them together.
I think the way to make a Minecraft world look really, really great, like if I could give anybody any advice, it would be instead of focusing on finishing your big builds, focus on finishing the little details that go from each big build. Like, I feel like that is the way to make a Minecraft world really look amazing. Like, your big builds are gonna look cool no matter what you do to them. Like, you're gonna make them look great in the end. But it's how you get to one from the other and keeping the interest of, like, whoever's exploring your world and yourself. Like, I feel like that's the way you gotta really... It's the way you really got to kind of sell everything. But yeah, so over here we got a little farming village kind of set up for the people living up here. All these actually have little interiors. I did come in and do that for the first time. I finished all the interiors on these homes. I think -1. Yep, I lied. I didn't get them all. But yeah.
The most of them. The majority.
Yeah, most of them.
By the way, I've just switched on my better grass, and everything has gone from what I thought couldn't get better to what is.
Oh yeah, when it all smooths out and you get everything going across, it's looking pretty great. But yeah, so we can go ahead and check out these little areas back here. I really like the bridge that crosses over the waterway. I feel like this bridge here is super, super simple, but it just does a great job kind of keeping in with the idea of all these really simple farmers, and they just need kind of a place to go. And then if you stand right here and look this way down the pathway, you can see that house kind of jumping out of nowhere back there, and it's looking... I really love this one. It's kind of how you walk towards it and the house just grows bigger and bigger as you're kind of going through. It's really cool. This one is probably one of my favorite interiors I've actually ever done. So that's super cool. There's a lot of little kind of nooks and crannies in here, hidden storage areas, and just kind of gets the job done for what you want. I got another little second door right there, which is pretty neat.
That is super cool. And do you have fire spread turned on or turned off in this?
I have it turned off right now. I got too upset dealing with it turned on, and I just wanted to make little fireplaces.
Yeah,
so.
I've recently come to grips with having fire spread turned on. Yeah, in a very my nether tunnels are completely made of wood, and let's just say blazes don't go very well.
Oh yeah, I've tried that a few times, and then it's just like, oh. I didn't turn off explosions or anything like that, and I feel like that's like the more big one, like gas and creepers and all that stuff. Like if you let a creeper explode, you deserve to have whatever explode on you. Like
yeah, it's fair. It's fair, and at least you know what? It's not going to explode your whole thing. It's going to be 10 blocks. It's gonna
be a little chunk of it. But yeah, so this is kind of the whole farming village over here. We can fly off over in this direction a little bit towards the village. You can kind of see the general idea of the forest as it's basically the edge when it's on the cliffs, it'll be a little less thick. And the farther you get kind of going in, the thicker and denser the forest is going to be in the end. Just kind of making it look a little bit more natural and easing your way into it instead of top of the cliff and instant super dense forest everywhere. So trying to make that even out.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So we're back.
Seriously, that is now my favorite terrain I've ever seen.
Awesome.
And also, might I add, I don't know if we've actually said this for everyone watching. It's all in survival Minecraft. Do not let this creative flight fool you. This is all in survival.
This is all survival. Good old survival.
That is insane. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get there one day at a time is all I keep telling myself. And some days I'm like, yeah, maybe not one day. But yeah, so to get to the last area of the developed world that's kind of worth sharing, there's another build that's like 5,000 blocks away in an ice spikes biome. If anybody wants to go find that, you can find it through the nether, and I'll let you guys explore that one yourself. But we can go ahead and kind of follow this cobblestone road over here, and it'll turn into a pathway in just a second. The reason why I haven't filled it out here is because this is where the big old port city is basically going to fill up this whole area in the end. And I wanted to, again, me being crazy, I want to rebuild the entire terrain for it. So we'll see how all that stuff goes. But now we get to the nice old dark oak forest.
And say goodbye to our frames.
And say goodbye to everybody else.
I'm all about frames. I'm just, my frames just wrecked. It's probably the better foliage.
Oh, yeah, it's probably all the leaves falling and things like that. I'm actually staying pretty steady at 40 with shaders, which actually isn't too bad. We'll be jumping down to the dark oak forest here in a sec. We got a little village right here that I keep meaning to tear down and force move the villagers over into this little nook and cranny place we're going to be checking out right here, which is the Robin Hood village is what I call it. But it's basically just this little tiny village like tucked away in the woods, and they basically can self-sustain themselves. They got a little mine here to get like iron and coal or whatever they need, and then in here is the actual village itself. Basically, again, I wanted to tuck everything in literally as close as possible as I could together and create a really tight-knit atmosphere. This one I actually picked up as an idea from Vigo Man. He's a really small YouTuber. I don't know if he's still recording or not, but he was doing a survival Let's Play, and he ended up actually doing a village really similar to this one. And I really like the idea of it, and so I kind of stole the idea and transformed it again into my own thing, and I thought it worked out pretty well. But we got a cool tree here. Go for it.
Blends in with the natural. It blends in with the natural dark oak as well as the dark oak you've got in here as well.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to basically have it make it look like they kind of have like a festival or something going on. Just having banners and colors going around really to brighten this place up, because it's so dark in here without them that really needed something. Like even with the torches in here right now, it's kind of dark. So we got the little houses around the side. I think there's 3 or 4 houses. And then we got a town hall area right here for people to just kind of hang out in and never finish the interior, but kind of planned it out in general. But that's kind of that stuff in there. And then we got a cool little hidden area to the back here. I think I might have shown this one to you a long time ago. I think this is actually the first time you ever rated the stream over on Twitch. I think this is, we were literally building this thing up. So
this is all very familiar, but it's, you know what,
way
I'm
back
down
when.
to check it out again because not everyone's seen it, and it's actually very, very cool.
Yeah, so we got a little like Robin Hood inspired like bow training area, archery area. That's the right word for it. So you can like pick up the bows and like shoot at the targets over there and kind of practice it. And just these people I figured would be like really insanely talented archers because they basically sit back here in the woods practicing all day so other people can't see them.
Well, I mean, you can't have a Robin Hood village without an archer.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if we didn't have it, I feel like it wasn't doing it justice. Really got to have all those little ideas in there. I feel like I love throwing in little bits here and there that like would be a reference that I might know, and if people like knew about it or like knew about like history and things like that. I'm a wannabe history buff. I don't know a whole lot about it, but the little things I do kind of pick up here and there. I love doing little kind of teaser things here and there, just kind of representing them. But
that is so cool. Well, you know, just speaking about the little things, because are we on our way now to your big city, the castle?
We are on the way to the castle. Yeah.
Nice. Well, despite the fact that that thing's huge, I remember a few months ago you actually commented on one of my videos, and I missed it actually. I was going through my spam folder. I'm like, why did you end up in my spam folder for something that didn't have? I think you might have put like a dot or something to create a link on YouTube, and I was like, man, it was the most insightful thing I've ever read, and it lands up in a spam folder. How dare it?
Of course, story of my life.
Don't worry, I approved it. All right, I approved it.
Oh, good.
But it was actually really neat, like just saying like what you do and what I do for building, and I didn't think of it this way, but it's so true. Is you build things with so much detail in such a small place, but you do what I do as well, and you go extremely large as well. Whereas what I do is you say I do more shape, and I think that's true, like general shapes.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got this amazing ability to just put a lot of stuff in such a small amount of space and then do that all over the place. It makes this world amazing, just having these little details around everywhere.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot in this next little like 2-minute walk stretch here, so you know, good point to have a good conversation. But yeah, I love focusing on texture and things like that, and really just working with the textures of the builds instead of like allowing the texture and like the variation you use to define the shape of it, whether you're rounding it out by having a darker texture in the middle and lighter textures on the side or whatever it is. There's a lot you can do literally just with cobblestone, andesite, and stone with making like a false like projection of whatever. Like you can really play with people's minds on the shaping of whatever you're looking at, and I love doing that. I think that's so fun. Especially with like sightlines. Sightlines are my favorite thing to play with in Minecraft. Oh
yeah. Well, I mean, I remember watching a video on how to make an open world game a while ago, and that was what really opened my mind to just blocking people's views and oh man, I can start to see it pop up already.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Here it's coming.
But speaking of a sightline, I feel like is this house intentionally blocking?
Oh, you know it.
Oh man, why did I question it? Well, I can see a perfect tower to one side and then nothing else to the other side. So I can only assume it was extremely coincidental. Or
oh yeah, all coincidence. That's no, very very much on purpose. Then you get through here, and you get the big old reveal.
Oh
see?
Man,
you get the teaser out there, then you can come in, and it's just like oh. So here we got our castle. We got a nice little fishing village off to the side. We can go check out the castle first, then we can go check that out because the fishing village actually is one of my favorite parts. I just love the little atmosphere down there.
I think we've rated you on a stream once when you were working on the terrain outside the fishing village. I think
Probably.
you were making like someone suggested you make some bird because you had nests. I remember, and someone suggested you make some diorite bird poop falling out.
Oh
the
yeah.
So we come with great suggestions.
Oh yeah, of course. Put bird poop everywhere. It'll make it look better. But yeah, this is the big old castle Bleak Rock. I did change diorite to a kind of a whiter stone. Basically, I took the diorite texture and overlaid it with the stone texture and said it was good. And did like a 50% opacity. So it gives this cool like roughened up white stone look to it almost. And I really like that.
That's a fair thing to do.
I figured if you're going to change any block, the old diorite is the one to change.
Yeah, although I think it gets a bit too much hate, but I agree that I think some blocks are ugly, and I think they're ugly for a reason. I like to please.
Well, as you're against birch, I'm against diorite, so you know.
You know, birch has been changing. I've seen actually quite a few birch trees around here. Birch has slowly been working its way into my life. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm giving it a little bit of love every now and then.
Gotcha. Well, here we got our first courtyard here. Got kind of this grand reveal area straight in front of you. Just lots and lots of little extra bits of detail, from armor stands sitting with an anvil inside of them, making it look like almost like a bust or like a soldier statue or something like that. Oh, excuse me.
That's very cool.
But yeah, then
I was immediately thinking dwarven. Like, these are just very short people in this place standing or something.
They're short dwarf people wearing a skirt. But yeah, over here, none of the interiors on this place are done. People have been yelling at me for about 6 months to come back and finish interiors. But over here, we got a stables kind of briefly set up. We got a donkey living in here. He's kind of the lone resident of the castle right now. But yeah, we got all that. We got over down in this way. We got a cool catapult set up, kind of facing out towards the water to ward off all the intruders. And if any big boats are coming to attack, we got a catapult to throw things at them. So, you know.
Well, I've lost you and the catapult. Oh, wait, now I found you.
Never mind. Here you go. We got our catapult.
Oh man, this is awesome. That is really cool.
I tried making it as small as I could, and I think the thing that actually really sold it, if you see these stone brick stairs down below there, you want to have a way for whatever siege weapon you have to rotate. So it's not, literally, if it's just firing straight out in front of us, it's not going to be able to hit very much. And everybody's going to know exactly where it fires out, so they literally just won't come at you from that direction. So adding this little stone brick kind of grooves in there, I feel like makes it so you can make it look like it's rotatable, and then it can be a little bit more defensive. So that was kind of a cool little thing to add in.
That's very cool, and it comes loaded with some granite as well.
Oh yeah, that's another block I don't use. I think that's the only granite I place in the whole world. Yeah, we got the cool view from back here. This kind of side of the castle, bunch of different towers and things like that. That super tall one is actually a bell tower with your favorite bell design ever is up inside of it too. So you know, we got that.
Nice.
We can jump down here.
I really love is every time I've seen this castle, you always like take a thumbnail screenshot with the harbor in it as well, that little fishing town. And I always see this little brown piece on the side here. The I don't know what you would call it, but like a lookout area.
Yeah, it has a name to it, but I can't remember what it is. Basically, normally these would be built up in like times of war, and they basically just build them up really quick and attach them onto the side so that more people could fit out there and defend from these points. But I figured they look really cool, and it's Minecraft, so screw it. I'm going to add it in.
It breaks it up as well, so well. Like that piece over there, for some reason, when I think of this castle, that's exactly what I would think of.
Don't worry, all those trapdoors over there, they'll be spruce trapdoors in about a week.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Yep. Yeah. Down here, that's going to go to some dungeons eventually. This is dog kennels right here. So, you know, we got the jail dungeons underneath the dog kennels. You know, make it really, really dirty and gross down there.
I read that as dog kennel jail below, as if it was like a dog jail. Like, what is it?
Dog jail. We're imprisoning dogs over here. No, dogs are great. They rule the world. We got a little blacksmith area in here, and I really tried bringing some brick in to kind of break up, again, those textures and make it look a little bit more smoothed out and things like that. And I feel like from the outside, if you look at the chimney just basically snaking its way up the side of the tower, I really love the look of it and kind of how it works there. I'd love if we had, like, I don't know, brick walls or something.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty great up there. But you know, that's whatever.
Well, this texture, is that the new default?
Yeah, that I have a lot of Japa stuff mixed in here as far as the textures go. So
yeah, there are some real good ones. I've taken that over as well. It definitely is a way better brick than standard.
The grout lines in the old ones are so harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of up in there. Right in front of us right here is a big old feast hall. I really like this guy, and this one actually has an interior. This one's finished up. And it's one of the only places with an interior. If you walk through, there's a little pressure plate, so you're good.
Yeah, well, if you didn't slam them in my face.
I know, I'm sorry. There's 2 doors, man. It's meant for 2 people. But yeah, so this is the interior. We got cake everywhere because that's all people can eat. And I was basically waiting for the items frames where you can place them down on the top. Then I'll come back and add some more stuff. Got some flowers hanging around. Lots of the banner for this area. Just really trying to show the castle colors. And just a bunch of cool stuff from up here. Just little areas for like guards or like musicians to stand and play music for the royals eating their dinner and all that stuff. So just lots of extra stuff all over the place in here. And I I love the end result. I love the big old windows we got here, using the white windows on the end and then the red ones on the side. Kind of going for those colors of the castle again. But yeah.
Very, very cool, man. There's been no disappointment in this world. It's insane.
I try to have everything up to the same standard. Otherwise, I'm like, hey, we'll go look at this really cool thing, and then look at this really ugly thing over there. I swear it's cool.
Just don't look at that stuff in the corner. Yeah. No, you've got everything.
So we got a nice little area back here where you can kind of view out over the waterway and defend from this stuff. And then that area we were talking about with the bird's nest is actually those cliffs right over there. So got lots of cool little stuff. You can kind of see those hay bales around here somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really neat. The little details, man. That's what it is. It's those little details. A bird's nest. Never would have thought about it.
Yeah. And then, these 3 chests that are stacked up right here, that last world tour, I said I was going to come clear out and empty and use all those resources. Still sitting there.
I like to think of them as like future gifts to yourself. Exactly. One day you're going to need all this. One
day I'm going to be over here and remember it, and I'm going to be like, yes, this is great. But yeah, that's
amazing.
I know how you said the other part of the castle is your favorite, but this side of the whatchamacallit, feast hall right here, I think is one of my favorites from like down below. I think it's probably one of my favorite views.
I haven't seen this, but this over here looks awesome. Where you've got the depth, like this is playing with that whole like 3 blocks of depth right there.
Mm-hmm.
Very awesome.
Number 1 tip for building castle walls or castles in general: every wall you should make should be 2 blocks deep or 2 blocks thick. You waste so many extra materials doing it, but it gives you so many more options later on. Because like if there was all 1 thick, you couldn't do stuff like this right here, like on the, even just like all those details for the windows. It just makes things look so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
totally agree with you on that. That was like the first like pro building tip I've ever learned was try and just add 1 block of depth and you're going to have a really good time.
Yeah. So here we got the last gate leading up to the palace area right there. I tried making like different terrace sections. So like if they break through the main gate, you still got the other 2 gates closed, and they break through the second one, and then everybody's kind of doing that last hurrah, trying to defend the castle from up here. But yeah, so we got the cool stuff. I tried using the glazed terracotta again. For like stained glass. And
okay, nice. I thought it was like some mural, but I see stained glass. That is really cool.
It could be a mural. We can go with that. It's a mural now. I like that one. But in there, it goes into the palace. Nothing's really set up in there yet. I don't think I've really finished. Yeah, there's not even a floor in there. We can avoid that guy. Over here, though, we can go into this area and then snake right over to the left, and we can go all the way up to the tippy top. And I'm trying to finish this one off because I'm already realizing this tour part is a lot longer than the first one. So, but hopefully it's been cool stuff so far.
People I'll love it to see what. There's so many secrets in this world and so many little things we probably won't ever see.
So here we got a working version of the bell. You actually got a way to pull this one unlike the first one. So, got our little dark oak fences and whatnot with our iron bars and all that cool stuff coming all the way down. And then the bell design up at the top. Sadly, I don't think this bell, you can actually make it anymore. I don't think you can make it anymore because I was using a glitch with pistons. Yeah. You can still make it if you replace this bottom guy in the middle, that last iron bar in there, with a lever, and then activate it with the 4 sticking around it, and it'll go down. But you can't do the iron bar coming all the way down anymore, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, so that's kind of the bell tower up here. Trying to make it as open air as possible so the sounds could kind of ring out throughout the whole castle and it actually makes sense. And then kind of stopped it off on the top and just really kind of shut that area down. I think it looks really cool. The end result for this one I was really happy with.
Oh yeah, I would say you've nailed it. And also just like having the functionality of having sound going through and all that makes your building work better. And I guess it makes it easier to build as well when you know what direction you're going in.
Yeah, less blocks too, so you save a few materials.
Exactly.
Let's see here. We can run out on top of this guy, and there's a little kind of viewing area to look down over the castle. You got some cool views and of the fishing village and things like that. But that's a lot of what's going up on here. The palace itself, I used a lot of that brick in it. Those accents, again, really trying to bring out that red and yellow color for the castle itself. So there's a lot of those around here, which is pretty cool. Right down below you, there's a little garden area, kind of like as like a princess's garden or a queen's garden or something where they could hang out for their day and kind of watch their plants and hang out in a garden out of the sun, but still be outside type thing. We got a lot of little ones like that crammed around the whole place. Then the last part of the castle is just over in this area, and we got this little thing down here, which is meant to be like a shrine or like a chapel or something. This little guy down at the bottom. Very much still kind of work in progress on the interior. It's just got a dirt floor in there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole castle itself. And then I guess we just got to go check out the village now. Yeah.
Man, so much inspiration in this castle. It's incredible. Like,
yeah, so for anybody who wants to download the world and check it out, you guys are more than welcome to build the interiors in it. I know a few people did the last time, and I think I'm actually going to use a lot of the ones that they end up sending screenshots of. So yeah, go for it and see what you guys can do if you want to. Then down here, we got back into the village area itself. Up here, we got a few little stone houses and things like that. I figure those are like the ancient peoples that have lived here forever. Then down here is more of the people who came in after the castle was built, kind of to promote trade in the area and colonize the area, just kind of live down here. Lots of little skinny areas going between houses as usual. We got this little tower right here. It's supposed to be like the dock master in charge of like the fishing boats and whatnot that are coming in and out of the area. We got a little storage room over here for all the fish they gather, using the good old Prismarine to kind of be a barrel of fish.
Yeah, I suspect the first place I saw that was here with when we once checked out this village in a stream of yours. I think I've got a barrel in my world with Prismarine fish in it.
It's a good way to do it. The color changes, so it looks kind of like there's something going on with it. This is my first ever attempt at a larger boat. The other ones were all canoes, and then this is the first large one. It turned out kind of well.
I think I like it's on point, and only 5 wide.
I think so. Yeah,
that's difficult to get some detail in there. That's really good.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I tried making it look more like the sails were kind of pulled in than anything, than out. So I tried to really just do that just to make it look more interesting. We'll probably build one out in the water somewhere with like full sails blazing and all that stuff flying across the water. But that'll be for another day. And then the last point really is kind of out here at the end of the pier. We got this cool little shrine area looking out over the water, and I can't wait to reset these oceans and get all the cool grass and everything and kelp and whatnot growing up out there. I'm so excited to do that and just kind of see everything here. But that's pretty much the entire world minus that ice spikes build that I was talking about that people can go find themselves.
Man, that's insane. This whole world. It's you've blown my mind, fWhip.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, man.
And thank you so much for taking me around. It's been a real treat. It really has. And I'm sure the people watching this have got miles. Well, I don't know if you measure inspiration in miles, but I mean,
I'll take it.
I would argue kilometers, to be honest, but in miles nonetheless, they've got a lot of them. So a lot of inspirations to have from this world.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everybody for watching today. Yeah, be sure to check out Jansey's channel if you haven't already. And there will be a world download down in the description below for those of you who want to explore this more yourselves in person. There's plenty of stuff we missed, plenty of little details hidden around all over the place that I didn't even bother touching on. So you guys are more than welcome to go find those guys all out for yourself and check those out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys all later on.
See you later, guys.